Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to GQUAT Traditions Garden Quilt and Art Show, where good friends become family and family is everything. Oh, look at all the good people in here today. Maria Graham, thank you for coming. Unbiased LLC, thank you. Miss Shirley, OG Gardner, my Renaissance other sister, Grandma. Thank you, ladies, for coming. And also, thank you for sending the rain this way so maybe I won't have to water. I was being trifling. I didn't water since Saturday. So I went out and put a little water in my garden this morning. Why? Because I have these big trees that take over, and I sometimes the water doesn't hit the ground even though it rains. I'm looking over there because I have a new aide, and I always tell her to turn off the chandelier in the kitchen, and but not when I'm live, so the chandelier is off. If it's too dark in here on this side, you guys let me know and I'll go over and turn it on. But I usually have a lot of perimeter lights. Why? Because I can't, those ring lights do something to my eyes. I have issues. Miss Shirley says they need more rain. It's dry already. See, that's what happens here. That's what happens here. And I heard a little pop in the back, so that means Dolores is here somewhere also. For those of you who are content creators, feel free to put a exclamation mark GQUAT, GQUAT, to drop your link. So, Auntie, I'm buffering. Let me see if I can figure out why. Okay, I have everything. Maybe I'll put my do not disturb sign on. Am I still buffering? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 2 in the chat if I'm loud and clear. Okay. So Dolores said I'm not buffering on her end. Okay, so you guys, for those of you who are in the bushes, I thank you for coming. And bushes, bushes, bushes. And for those of you who are here for the first time, the What's on the Monitor Garden Quilt and Art Show is what we call this segment. And I go live every Thursday, 4 p.m. and every Eastern, that is, and I go live on Saturdays at 6 p.m. I'm so excited. Biased is always working. She's always working, and she supports so many channels. I don't know how you do it. I try to get back. I watch on TV, but it seems like I give the thumbs up, but it seems like I can never get by to leave a message or to leave 3 hearts something, but I do the best you can. I do the best I can. So, those of you who would like to support the channel by becoming channel members, it is $1.99, and you hit the $ at the bottom of your screen, I think, in order to become a member. When I'm on other people's lives, I can see. That's okay, Maria Graham. She said it was on her end and she's back. No problem. There are glitches in different parts of the country. Sissy, Joanne Stevens says hello to everyone who is live. And if you are here for the replay, please leave a message. I promise I will come and let you know I read it. And we have, for those of you who are members, we have new emojis, and your icons are now flowers to honor my wish to give you flowers. And the flowers that you see are actually flowers from my garden, my mother's garden, or my sister's garden, from family members. Hello, Donzel Cooper. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, you guys, I have so much to tell you, and we will be doing a tutorial today, and we will be working on a king size denim quilt, upcycled jeans, and the quilt will be for my mother. My mom saw me making a quilt for ARD's father, and she asked if that was for her. It wasn't. It was just a personal size quilt anyway. And I know she wants one for, oh, Maria Graham says, thank you for the flowers. You guys are welcome. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm saving some seeds, and I will be giving them out to the channel members, to the moderators, and I will gift some out in a giveaway when I get a chance. Mike's Chaotic Gardening, thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you who saw me like busting open that butternut squash with the meat cleaver and the hammer, I've got them all dried out and bagged up. I've got the, what is it? Oh my goodness, my mind just took a little flip trying to read everything. So I have, what I wanted to show you is, for those of you who have chia seeds, I see a lot of you with chia seeds. A lot of people are doing smoothie challenges. I've been doing smoothies for, I don't know, 50, 60 years. But what I wanted to tell you is that you can grind chia seeds up for those of you who are vegetarian. Actually, for those of you who are vegan, you can use this as an egg substitute. And for those of you who don't want any animal protein, so you can just grind up the chia and put it in and use it in lieu of an egg. Just gifted. Sonia, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Each and every one of you. Speaking of gardening, I want to show you something. Exactly 2 weeks ago, I dropped a couple of seeds in hydroponics because those same seeds I was just holding up, I threw the bag down. Before I give them to you, I always test them to see if, Mike says chia pudding is good. I never tried that. I will have to Google a recipe, Michael, unless you have one that you would like to share. And this, do you see how big this is, you guys? This is 2 weeks. The seeds that I will be giving away, everybody always says that my seeds always germinate, but look at this. Look at all the roots already. Don't want to drop water on my computer, but look at all these. So these are ready to go outside, and I dropped 4 seeds. Hey, Kay Renee's Garden. Thank you for coming and welcome. I saw you working out on the TV. I didn't get a chance to leave a message yet, but I did leave a thumbs up. So look at this. Can you guys see how big this is in 2 weeks? I love germinating seeds in the hydroponics. They go so fast, and it's just in plain water. You don't even fertilize them until they're 2 weeks old and they get their second set of leaves. This is about the 3rd set. So these will be going outside, and I will be gifting some of these seeds away. So another thing I want to share, I have a little jar of buttons because I'm supposed to be working on a 3rd quilt, a memory quilt out of shirts. And I just wanted to say that I harvest whatever I can from the shirts, the pieces that I won't be using. These are the buttons, and I had some help, and we did that today. So suddenly my brain fart is open. is over, and I can remember the word mullen because Mr. Arthur Bammett sent me bunches and bunches of mullen seeds. They're still on the pod, they're drying out, but I want to show you those. A lot of you are growing mullen or feels like I want to sneeze. Mullen, and I want to show you the best way to make a mullen infusion or a mullen tea. Mother, everybody's saying hello to you. I know that you're in the bushes, Mommy. You know what? Just breathing this feels like it's trying to clear up my airways. That is amazing and hilarious. But I want to show you how to make mullen tea. So, one thing I want to show you for those of you who have not grown mullen before, they're kind of fuzzy. The leaves are kind of fuzzy. So, what you do to make mullen tea or an infusion, David Corey with crop. I need some of that mullen you got over there and some of that comfrey. David Corey, you should send me a shoebox full of comfrey so I can make some comfrey salve for all my aches and pains. So this is just a quart canning jar, and I have a plate of dried mullen. What I do is I cut mine up. You can break it up however you want to. Wellness with Frugal Mama. I worked out with you this morning, ma'am. You didn't see me in the bushes because I'm already in the bushes, but I want to show you how I do it. Feels like something funny's going on with me just breathing this. So it's on my little lap, and I take a quart jar and I stuff the broken leaves. Why do I break them or cut them? Because there are more little pieces for the water, the boiling water to go into. So I always have a tea kettle on the stove, and I get boiling water, and I put the mullen in a quart jar. You see, this is actually a lot of mullen. I just put it, excuse me, in there loosely because I want the water, the boiling water to go in there, right? And permeate all up and down and all up in between it. This is weird. So I pretend I put the boiling water in, right? And you get a glove or something because this is going to be steaming hot. And I turn it around a few times, and then you put it on the counter and you let it sit for 4 hours. And it'll be a dark liquid. But you strain it. Drink some water, Auntie. Thank you. That's a good idea. But when you strain it, you don't strain it the same way you strain other teas, like with a strainer, pouring it through a strainer. 1 second, please. Me and my allergies and my sensitive nose. So, this, we'll pretend this is full of boiling water. It will cool in 4 hours. Well, I already know this is going to be really strong. So I usually drink like 2 cups of it. But this is the part I was going to tell you. When you strain it, don't just strain it with a metal strainer. Use a cloth, a nice cloth like unbleached muslin or something, and you strain it through the cloth, because just like I must have gotten some of these little hairs, like they say, a hair up your whatever. I must have gotten some of these hairs in my throat or nose just now, just breathing it dry. So you want to be able to strain it through a cloth. And when you get it through the cloth, I just have this here because I was doing something for my great grandson's school. when you have the cloth, and the strainer, you take your hands and you squeeze it, and you get all that goodness out. Frugal must be laughing about the hair, right? You caught that. Auntie Ellen has a smart mouth. So you squeeze this out, and then with the dregs, you can just throw it in your compost or something. But just from me waving this around, started getting to my little nose hairs. So, how's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that came in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to show you some Duval City Girl Gardener. How you doing? So, it's clearing me up already, everybody. Just breathing it and swallowing it. So, I want to show you. It's not a mail haul. You guys, that is crazy. Just breathing the mullein is clearing me up. I'm going to make this. But you know what? When I make this is Mr. Arthur Bamit's mullein. I'm sure it's good and dried out from when he sent it. Having a good day, Maria Graham says. So, I hate that, you guys. Sorry. I usually drink 2 cups of this, which is a mug. Hershey, stop. I drink a mug of it. I'm going to dilute this, like 1 cup of this mullein tea to a cup of water and drink it, because this is some potent mullein. I have some in my garden, and I kind of mixed it in with this, but I only had a little bit. And it doesn't bloom. You don't get the flowers until the second year. This was second year mullein, and it was pretty tall out there. It was about 5 or 6 feet tall, bright, pretty yellow flowers. So, going to my special delivery gift, one of my neighbors called and she said, Ellen, I want to bring something down, but I don't want to leave it on your door. The neighbors and I generally leave things for each other just on the door, in like a bag or something on the door. She said, it's too valuable to leave on the door. So when I went to the door, she had her hand out, and you know how you automatically reach out? I reached out and I could feel. Can you see the wood on this box? It is such nice wood. And the back of it says it's genuine walnut. But what it is, she said that if something happened to her, or when she's going, she wanted me to have this. I only have 3 good knives in this house. I see some of the channels with the good butcher knives, the good knives. Maybe I might reach out to some manufacturers to get some decent knives around here. But look at what she gave me. I don't want to hold it up, but it is a carving set, a stainless steel carving set, because the top is, look, this is so sharp. It's such a nice set. And she said it's very sharp. I don't even know if her mother had ever used it. So look at this nice carving blade. You know, I'm always dropping stuff. I'll hold it over here in case I drop it on my foot. I already dropped a pair of scissors on it last year. And then it has yet another one. Let's see, how does this go in here? Oh, I have it upside down. So the blades go, oops, I touched it. This thing is sharp. It is sharp, sharp, sharp. Look at me klutzing around with it. How about I just leave it alone and put it over there until later before I drop it, farting around. And then this is, the carving knife with you. I'm never the one to carve the Christmas turkeys or whatever. I mean, Thanksgiving turkeys. This thing is really sharp. But I thought that was just the nicest thing for her to think of me to give it to. And I will put this very sharp blade down and close it up because stuff happens, don't it? That really is an honor, Miss Shirley. And her family, the line of succession goes down from the woman, the head of the family. So her mother's gone, and she doesn't have any children. So she knows that I do have children and a family, and I have most holiday meals when I'm in Connecticut. The holiday meals are at my mother's house, but my daughter and granddaughter do all the carving and stuff. Our treasured home, Nancy, thank you for waiting. Thank you for coming. And hold on, please. I will be right back because Mr. Hershey's acting up and barking. I have a new aide and she just left. I put him up so that he wouldn't go out the door. So if you hold on a minute, I will let him out and be right back. I Stevens is my biological sister, and she says, "Sissy, you should stop talking and put that knife away." You guys know I drop something every live. That is not something to drop. That is not have that is not something to drop. So, do any of you have any old jeans or anything that you would like to sew and come up with me today? Because I today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make a denim quilt. I have spent the last 2 or 3 months cutting up old jeans. My Renaissance grandma has sent me some jeans. Another one of my Facebook sister friends has sent me jeans. My granddaughter has been collecting jeans at her work. People have been sending them, and I have been cutting them up because the poor proportions that I need, I'm making a big block quilt. For those of you, I'll attach it in the description at the end. The quilt top that I'm making for Dolores that was pink and was sitting in back of me for a while. It's not finished. The top is finished, but I'm going to be making blocks that are 18 inches. 18 inches. So the block will have 3 pieces in each one. So it took a lot of jeans to cut up to make a king size quilt. And we will, everybody saying hi to each other. I will take the bell. I'm not going to put the commercial on. Oh, yeah. If you want to come up, be sure and show your face. And if you're sewing, because that's what this module is about, show us what you will be working on so that we can stay on topic. So, this is a tutorial on making a jeans quilt. I don't know if you could see the difference when I turned that last little light on, but I thought that it would make it nicer. Okay, so for those of you who would like to, you don't have to make this size quilt, but I had all these big juicy pieces of fabric, and I charted this out how I'm going to design this quilt. So after I make these 16 to 18-inch blocks, it depends on how they're sewn together, I will get a final inch in a minute. But this is just a rough diagram, right? And for those of you who were here before, so I will be making, let me say, I will be making 7 blocks across and 6 blocks down. And each block will be like 16 and a half inches. So I'm looking for the final dimensions of the quilt to be about 112 inches wide by 96 inches long, because she doesn't put it up. Yep, Big Rooster's jeans are in here. Y'all that were throwing shade on Big Rooster's jeans, they are in here. Yes, indeed, Mister Big Rooster, and some more big folks gave me some jeans for this. So what I did is, this will be this 7 blocks across and 6 blocks down. 7 times 6 is 42. So I have to make a total of 42 blocks. So I will have 42 blocks, and the way that I cut them will be 16 and a half inches by 6.5 inches. I don't have that one out today because we won't be sewing those. I have 42 blocks sitting here that are 10 and a half inches by 10 and a half inches. Then I have 42 blocks that are 10 and a half by 6.5. So, Unbiased is laughing. So when I do my final layout, I'm going to lay it out like this. So you see what I did? I have these 3 rows in the middle, wherever the middle is, in here, because I'm glad you spoke up, Unbiased, because I have these beautiful denim labels that I'm only going to put in certain denim items. And this quilt for my mother, in the middle of it, will have one of Unbiased custom labels for Auntie Ellen that says Original by Pankey. So somewhere in here where you see that star is going to be a special block with that label and some more things. So what I'm going to do now, so you see this is the layout of, I had 10 and a half by 10 and a half, 6.5 by 10 and a half. So you see these 2 blocks? This is, actually, I hate writing. This is how I'm going to sew them together. So you see the little small block up here and the 10 and a half inch square one. I'm going to pair the 10 and a half inch sides together and sew them. The only important thing about sewing all these different jeans, Sister Vanessa, my Renaissance grandma, I have yours in here. And the only thing that I'm going to make sure of is that no 2 jeans of the exact same. I'm going to try to make sure that they are not sewn together, just to give it more texture. So these are big. So I have a whole pile of 42, 6.5 by 10.5. Even holding that up is heavy. And I have a whole pile of 10.5. But just fanning through them, look at all the different colors of blue jeans, upcycled blue jeans. Rachel, I mean, Unbiased, your pocket bag came out of these jeans. I know every pair. These were kind of black jeans. These were blue. The black ones were actually Big Rooster's. These were a pair of his. And so without further ado, Mother, the good daughter is finally starting on her quilt. So the good daughter didn't sew fast enough to get it for her birthday. My mother's having a birthday on September 1st, but I promise it will be ready by Christmas. So let's get this party started. So I already know that this is going to be a lot of sewing. I already have pre-wound bobbins. So what I'm going to do, am I going to use this little bit? No, because I don't want to have to start and rethread it in the middle. So I'm going to take a pre-wound bobbin, and yes, I wound these myself. You can buy pre-wound bobbins, but I'm so used to it. I have a birthday winder. Oh, happy early birthday to Mother. We try to make every day her birthday. We try to spoil her and do whatever we can to make her happy. So, Mother, sewing on your quilt, and everybody's egging me on to get it going. So in quilting, you always use a neutral colored thread. You can use gray. Some people like gray. I like tan. I have a lot. I use them both. So on this part, I'm going to be Donzel Cooper says, "Happy early birthday, Mother." Okay, so I know you see this pile. Can you see this pile? I want to make sure that you can see the machine. So what I'm going to do is right sides together, or pretty sides together, as Ms. Unbiased says, and I'm going to start. Now some of them may be a little not exactly even. Some pieces were a little bit shorter. They were cut different things. So you know what I do? I make sure that the beginning is straight and the end, and you can all almost all modern jeans, except some of them good old boy overalls, have a little bit of elastic in them, so you can stretch them. I think I will use a 3-inch seam. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to backstitch the beginning and end of each one. I'm checking to see if I like the stitch, and I do. I generally assembly line throw sew, so I'm pulling this. I didn't pull it enough, so I'm trying to make the ends come together. And what I think I will do, I don't have a stiletto out, but I will use a seam ripper as a stiletto. So I'm going to backstitch. So I'm going to take the next two, or these two don't have a big color difference, but can you see where the grain goes a different way? So the grain goes a different way, so you will be able to see all the work that it took to put these pieces together. So let me line up the bottom end. The bottom end. Okay, Mike is asking to hold the questions, if there was a question, until the end. Jessica Menendez. Hola. Hola and welcome. You guys, please welcome Jessica. Jessica is my new aide, and she has been helping me get some of this together. She helped me with the cutting up the shirts. Dolores, welcome in. I didn't actually see you in the chat before, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And Jessica, she will be getting one-on-one hands in. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And I'm so happy to have her. And I will be showing her how to do all the things that I know how to do. Ouch. Did you see me stick myself? Ouch. Oh, oh my goodness, turning around, being nosy. So I'm going to sew down here. And this is what you call assembly line sewing. That's one of the words. So look at this. I didn't have a piece, one solid piece to sew this. So I already pieced that together. And I'm going to sew it on the edge of this. So this is what you call patchwork. Quilting is actually the sewing together of a top, batting, and a middle. It's a quilting sandwich. Okay, I can take a break now. Are there any questions that you guys want to ask me so far? How about you guys collecting some of those old jeans? You don't have to make a king size quilt, a personal size quilt. And jeans are heavy enough. You don't have to have batting, especially if you live in a warm area. You can just use the top and the bottom. But I like the way there's a space in the middle. So when I send this to the long armor, no, I'm not going to be lifting all that weight with my rotator cuff issues. I will send this to a long armor. They will put it together, put some thin polyester batting in the middle to make it lightweight for my mother, because just by virtue of the fact that it's going to be king size, it's going to be heavy anyway. So I will keep going, and everybody is. I'm actually meeting Jessica. She must be home already. She was leaving out the door before when Mr. Hershey was barking. He barks at anybody that goes out the door. He barks at anybody that comes between me and him. Me and him. So I was trying to keep him quiet when I started the live. So I'm just sewing this one side on my mother's quilt, back stitch, and I'm using this heavy duty Singer sewing machine. This is a friendly machine. Now I want to show you. You can see from there. This piece of fabric is exactly the same as this one. So I'm not going to sew these together, even though you may be able to see the difference. I'll just move them and put a different color. So by the jeans being dark colored, what I'm going to do when this is quilted, I'm going to have it quilted in a bright thread, like a bright burgundy or something. Why? Because I'm a purple girl living in a purple world, to use Dolores's phrasing. Thanks, you guys. So I'm trying to encourage Jessica to do some of this stuff on her own, not just helping Auntie Ellen, but making her own stuff. So what I'm doing on this piece, because one piece is slightly shorter than the other, I'm pulling on them to make them even. And I am using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Why? Because the thicker the seam, the more fabric is in it, and the heavier it becomes. So now this is a sort of lighter color jean. So that other dark one that I put aside before, now I'll pair it with this one. Any questions, you guys? Oh, look at those new emojis. Aren't they cute? Dolores put them together for us. Uh-oh. This didn't work. You see this one? You see how short it is? it can be used, but I need to add a piece onto it. So this one is not going to make the cut. I will find another one. That's too close to this one. And I see this black one. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, and this is really, really stretchy. And I'm going to have to really stretch them. I don't know what happened to these. These seem shorter than the others. You know what? I'm just going to put it aside and add a piece onto it. I don't know what happened with these black ones. They, some of them seem to be a little bit shorter. I will double check. Don't worry, Mother. Not going to give you any messed up pieces. Oh, I remember when I was starting to paint. I had never painted anything before in my life, you guys. And I was taking a course at a community college in North Carolina. So, what did I decide to do first? An oil portrait. Oil is difficult painting anyway. An oil portrait of my mother. I'll have to show you that portrait. And it takes, when you're painting with oil, it takes 6 months for oil to dry. Barb Brownlee is listening and working. Thank you. Thank you, Barb Brownlee. So my mother said, "You better not mess me up." So I didn't. I did a really good job on her painting. And the instructor in the class didn't believe that I had never painted before because it did come out so well. So I was running my mouth and I came to the side, but I could tell. See this when I was pulling on it? No problem. My handy dandy seam ripper is right here. And I'm just going to loosen these stitches and fix the seam. No, Mom, I'm not messing your quilt up. Okay, so I'm opening this up to the 1/4 inch seam. Sometimes when you're pulling on it, trying to stretch it, you pull it away from the seam allowance. So back to the old sewing mill. Does anybody have any questions while I'm looking at the chat? So you see down here where it was off? I don't have to take that out. Why? Because I'm just going to sew over it. I'm just going to sew over it at the correct seam width. Are any of you work? I know everybody's busy in their garden. I know everybody is busy in their garden. So, is anybody working on anything? At least 15 minutes a day. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a little bit every day. I've been working on neck bone pillows because at the end of the year I have to give out moderator gifts. By the way, I would like to thank all of the moderators because when I first started, I knew jack nothing about YouTube or any of those other things. And when I would get and everybody who was a moderator volunteered in the beginning to help me out. And it was like, Auntie Ellen, I'll help you. Mike, GG Naturals. One time I was sick. I couldn't even come on to cancel my own. Gina, all those people who are moderators really saved me. Dolores helping me out, Unbiased. I've had to call and I was like in a panic about to almost cry. And she said, just calm down, just do this, do that, and the third. So now that I'm learning more about YouTube, what I use them for mostly is moral support. Those who don't have all those technical skills, guess what? They keep the boogeyman out. We don't, let me knock on wood and let me don't, or we don't have some of the issues that other channels have with unwanted, undesirables in the chat. They are hooked and they are gone. These moderators don't play with them. They get it to get it going. You saw what Dolores said. If you want to come up, show your face and show what you're working on. Mother, you're gonna love this quilt. I can't wait to get on your bed with you with it, Mommy. Maria Graham says, happy birthday, Mother Pankey. And thanks for hitting the like button, you guys. And for those of you who are not members, we don't say the S word. We don't use subscribers. Members of the family, please be sure and join. Put on the notification bell if you like the content. And when I post a new video, you will be notified. So I'm going to show you with these black jeans something that I'm doing, because some of you who have jeans and may want to make a denim quilt. And by the way, this one is going to be a quilted quilt. It's not going to be a rag quilt. I'm actually sending this one off to a long armor to have the stitching done. Some fancy stitching at that. So let me use the stylus because I pulled this elastic too far over here. And back stitch. And you see all these pieces are ironed. I ironed all of them. And no, my granddaughter, unbiased, is not the only one that hates to iron. I have always hated to iron. The only thing I iron is my quilting almost. So we are merrily sewing along. So it looks like I'm sewing all these black pieces, but it's just the way it came up. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. Do you see this? You see this piece? This was the actual seam on the jeans. It doesn't matter. You can cut across it. You don't have to have a straight piece like this. This is what I loved about Big Rooster's jeans. Some of my grandson-in-law, my granddaughter's husband, gave me some big ones, a couple of other. I could finally get these big 10.5-inch squares with no seam in it. That is rare. Coming out of the bushes, Auntie Ellen. Thank you, Kelly. I bring it every day, not once in a while. Every day she brings it. She's working. So this is dark, and I saw a light piece coming up. So I'm going to flip it over and match them up. Oh, even when I'm sewing regular cotton, I like to put a pin at the bottom of the seam. You don't have to pin the whole thing, but I just want to make sure that the beginning and the bottom, the seams fit together. So I'm holding it, and there's a line on the presser foot. I'm not using the edge. I'm not using any fancy devices to make 1/3 of an inch seam. And I will show you that I'm actually sewing an exact 1/4 inch seam. even without all those things on the side. Why? Because you can use devices that you make to to sew a 1/4 inch. You can put tape on the side of your sewing machine to make sure that you're sewing a 1/4 inch seam. I was looking for a different 1/4 inch ruler, one that you could see through, and not this one that I use for my corners. So you guys, just so that you know, at 7 o'clock, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner is going live. She is a master gardener, and she has been gardening for over 70 years, just like I have. Just like I have. So you see this 1/4 inch ruler? This is not a 1/4 inch. This side is. And you see when I line it up, it's exactly a 1/4 inch. Why does that matter? It matters because when I sew these two pieces, they have to measure they have to measure 16 and a half inches on this side so that the next piece that I connect up to them will fit. And guess what? It's exactly 16 and a half inches. So that's why I put those together. So we're back to your seams, mother. And I want to thank all the big folks in the world, all the folks in the world that found big jeans for me, like my Renaissance grandma. And it is appreciated because these big 10 1/4, 10 1/2 inch block, I don't think I had to piece one single one of them. I had enough of the big jeans to do it. Your husband just finished. Oh, wow. I bring it every day. Her husband just finished the Master Gardener course. Well, he won't be home much. He'll be putting those hours in volunteering. Volunteering. Frugal Mama, I saw your garden too. I seen it. I seen it. So these are ironed. I am not throwing them around any which way to get unironed. So I will put them down flat and keep boogieing along. I am so excited about making this quilt for my mother. Why? Because she wanted it, and I was able to get it with you all's help. With y'all's help. So this is mother. This is where good friends become family, and family is everything. So this small piece that I'm sewing on here is one of those where it is a piece seam. And it's fine. It's fine. It's going to be so interesting. I'm trying to figure out how, when I get it back from the quilter, how I can show it to you guys when my mother is in the chat. Huh. Okay, now this is interesting. Oh, I hope you guys didn't see me. I'm sitting unladylike over here, like Grandma shelling peas over here. I like Grandma shelling peas with the big thing on her lap and the peas and going, yeah, well, that's just how I'm sitting. I'm sitting. Thank you, Dolores, for keeping track of how many subscribers. We are having a big giveaway when we get to 2,000. And for those of you who saw that bag, that one of those bags that I made recently is going to be in the giveaway. And don't go anywhere because I just wanted to show you that This is one of the giveaway items. This, when I get to 2K, there will be lots of gifts. This one has a long pink tie. It has a pink pocket inside. It has a reinforced liner. This will be covered with pink fabric. But I don't know, for some reason I'm running short of pink fabric. With Dolores likes pink, Maria Graham likes pink, Crafty Leo likes pink. Lots of folks be liking pink these days. So I be running short of pink. But can you see back there on the floor? That's a 10-yard bolt of pink, but it's a solid pink. I like mixed. So this will be one of the giveaway gifts when we get to 2K, you guys. And you will have to be a subscriber. Nobody can love pink. Nobody can love, I don't know if anybody can love it as much as you, Dolores. You be liking some pink. I put pink in my apartment for things I don't want to lose. Why? Because I never put pink in anything. I never put Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick, in the bushes. In the bushes. Did you check out your new emoji, a Nikki Nick? Okay, so check this one out. This is a piece that's going in here. Guess what? Just for giggles and kicks, I made it piece. So it's all this going into the side of this next block. Okay, so let's hit it. Oh, you love that Bar Brownlee? You don't like pink, but the other colors are good. So Donzel Cooper, you must know somebody else that likes pink. You can win the bag and give it away and be a hero. And be a hero. So away we go. And you'll hear some chugging. This is a heavy duty machine, but it's sewing through two thicknesses of jeans generally. But in a minute, some of these seams are going to be four thicknesses of jeans. But it's no worries because I put you can buy denim needles, jeans needles. They're usually a 16 or 18 and sew with those. And that's what I'm doing on here. And I'm making sure that I'm catching all the edges. Sometimes when you tug on them, like that other one, and running my mouth, I didn't line the edges up completely. I am making sure that I do now here. And sometimes you gotta wiggle with them, work with them, but that's because the jeans, these are stretchy jeans. How many of you? Shout out to all of us in the bushes. Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. Okay, Nikki. I will look into it. Frugal Mama, right? So I'll have to look back and see how I put them out. You are on the moderator list. I do know that, Nikki Nick. And I do know that your end of the year moderator gift may or may not allegedly be ready, and it may or may not allegedly have orange in it, your favorite color. Oh, so look at this, you guys. Some of the pieces, you could see where this was like all put together. This seam I can actually thin out to make this was to make a 10.5 inch side. But it happened to end on a seam, which is fine. Hush, Hershey. No, no, no. So I'm going to put it face down, and I'm going to cut these strings out off. When you're working with jeans or actually any fabric, the the more you handle it, the more they will ravel if you're using good cotton fabric. So that's not a sign of something wrong. That's a sign of something right. Nicky Nick. So I see your wrenches showing up, and see this pair of pants. This actually had something on it on the back, and I like a belt loop was cut off, and I just left it there because this is going to be almost like a medal of honor because all these jeans people wore these, and we were lucky enough to get them all. Big Arusta, shout out to Big Arusta, shout out to my sister Renaissance grandma, my granddaughter who is probably in the bushes, wait, working and waiting. Well, I know one of them is unbiased granddaughter. My other granddaughter, Sharita, listens in the bushes. Now I'm about to go over that real thick piece. So I'm just going to slow down. When you guys are doing something on these machines and you're tasking it to do something that's difficult, just slow down. Just slow down. It's like going over a speed bump 100 miles an hour or going down a hiccup hill 100 miles an hour. Do you know what a hiccup hill is? Has everybody ever driven in their car real fast down a hiccup hill where you get to the bottom and your stomach is still up the top? No, I never did that. I never went flying down one. I never did that. Mother, did you hear me say that, Mom? I wouldn't do that. So I'm looking at some of the interesting ones. I actually wanted to put a lighter piece with this one. I love these lighter jeans mixed with the darker ones. So I'm just going to pin the bottom. And look at all this, you guys. Look at all these pieces done. I'm almost halfway through. Almost halfway through these 42 blocks. Now, forward. Now back. If you guys see my legs sticking out with this dress on, all, all, all hyped up, you let me know. You tell me to pause, all right? You did that. My son's grandma. You're so cute. You got mail coming soon, too. I just haven't been to the post office this week because I do have a new aide. And I don't have to go do everything. And I haven't showed her where the post office is yet. I don't have to do everything by myself anymore. So, yay! Auntie Ellen has help. Okay, so this one is too close to that color. I'm digging around. Oh, I love this one. Look at this one. I did this intentionally, you guys, where I put them together just to make it interesting. That's interesting. So I'll put one pin in the bottom to match them up. Unbiased LLC. Marie Graham thinks I'm doing a good job. Thank you. This was a lot of work, you guys. I've been cutting these blocks since I finished ARD's dad's quilt. It was like a few a day because it's not just a matter of when you get a quilt that your grandmother made with that old, you hear it chugging over like 4 to 6 seams, but it's going. And she made it out of their old clothes. That was a labor of love because you have to unsew. I'll say which camera. You have to unsew it, cut it, fit it back together, and then put the pieces together to make the shape that you want for you guys. So I know my mother will be looking at this quilt, trying to figure out whose jeans they were, which ones were big roosters, which one, because I'll say, oh, that came from my Renaissance grandma. But the big pieces, the 10.5 by 10.5 inches, those were from a few special pairs of jeans my Renaissance grandma. Not that you wore them. So look at this piece I put together. How cool is this? Do you see it? It's a little bit off on this side, but when I get it all together, it's going to fit. It's all going to fit. It's just like one giant masterpiece puzzle. And I've been seeing you guys doing puzzles and making brain games. So look at this piece. I looked through there. I know what pair of pants these came from. This came from my granddaughter's co-worker, who's about 75 feet tall and had the like crinkle cut jeans because you couldn't even iron the crinkles out. Joanne Stevens said that's going to be a masterpiece for real. I can't wait to jump on mommy's bed. Maybe I'll take a selfie on it. Mommy has a king size bed, and I think I'll sew it. Did you see what I just did? Instead of sewing it this way, and I don't know which way the seams are going, I'm going to put it the flat side down. I usually put, when I'm sewing, I usually put the smaller pieces on top so that they don't slide around. But this one, I'm putting the bigger piece on top because it has all these seams. Those are just little gems and tidbits I'm telling you guys. Why? Because some of you will be sewing binding on. So when you sew binding on, you put the small piece, the 2.5 inch piece, on the top. So I turned this over so that I can make sure where these seams are sewn, not sewn, ironed down flat, to make sure that they stay flat, that I'm not pushing one way, one the other way. Why? So that when this quilt is quilted, the long armor will have an easy time instead of, like your hair sticking up going all over the place or something. So I wanted to show you guys how some of the interesting pieces that I made out of being intentional and cutting them up. So let's see what else we have over here. Some of them can be like almost the same color, like these two pieces, but with the grain. What a grain is, for those of you don't sew, it means the way that it goes up and down, the north-south longitude of it. And when you sew, you try to keep it going straight and in the same direction. So that's what I did with this piece. But look, this piece is going up and down. The grain on this one is going sideways. I don't know if you ever have had wall-to-wall carpet laid. Have any of you ever had wall-to-wall carpet laid and the carpet people, when they join the seams and they have one going north to south and then south to north, and it looks like two different color fabrics? Oh, yes, you're going to take that out and redo that, sir. I am not paying for that carpet looking wonky like that. A dark side and a light side together. Nope, nope, no. Donzel Cooper, are you collecting jeans to get a jean quilt from anybody? And Men do sew. I know a lot of men quilters, you guys. A lot, a lot, a lot. And they're really good. I think I mentioned some of the expensive tailors that made all the queens and kings suits for the royal palace in the UK. They were men. Most of them were men. Now times have changed. The tailors for those fancy Italian suits, they were men back in the days. Even the designer, the big designers, were mostly men, and they used certain tools, certain techniques. They certainly used their iron. Oh, look at this interesting piece of denim. You see where the orange is going down there? But guess what? Oh, I'm not putting it on this piece. I'm going to put it on a piece that's going in a different direction. So I'm going to take this black piece. I'm going to take this black piece and attach it to this blue piece. So when you're going through, no, but you have jeans, Donzel. Are they good jeans or old jeans? You have old jeans? I don't have any old jeans. I don't have any old jeans. When I retired and moved to this place, we just got all new everything, which is good because I plan to be here another 25 years and they're going to have to last, right? I did buy a pair of fake Tims. Why did I buy fake Tims? Because I wasn't paying $200 for a pair of boots to go wear out in the salt, to go walk in the salt with Mr. Hershey and keep from falling on my boom boom in the wintertime. I don't really go out in the winter, except Mr. Hershey has to go out no matter what. Right, sir? Where are you, Bubba? Oh, he's sitting over there between me and the door, watching the door, waiting for anything to come in that he can bark. Oh, that's the big piece, not the little piece. So I'm putting a blue piece with a black piece. And I got a lot at the end after I had cut these off. My Renaissance grandma found a lot of jeans that were light. They were like a jean skirt, a really large size jean skirt. And a lot of these pieces will have that really light piece on the side. Some of those really tall, dark jeans, like unbiased cell phone pocket bag, those will be going on there. So this should be an interesting mix of blocks. I'm excited to see how they come together because I have no clue. No clue. I'm just making sure that I don't put any two together. I mean, any two like fabrics. Any of you that would like me to put together a Zoom class of making whatever you like, or you have an idea for some. So this is this is one of those big pair of jeans. This might be big roosters because I can count the ones that were different colors. Hi, Hershey. Come here. You want to say hi? So somebody wanted to say hello, you guys. He was over there barking and being a bad boy and being a bad boy and being a bad boy. So now he's coming over to see who I'm talking to. Donzel Cooper, your Uncle Donzel, said hello, Mr. Hershey. Mr. Hershey is 11 years old for those of you in the bushes who don't know, haven't met him before. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so excited to make this denim quilt. And I want to show you when I finish sewing these twosies together. when you sew blocks together, people who sew, uh, Auntie Joanne said, Mr. Hershey, you want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? Yeah, he's holding his head like, when I'm in Arizona, you guys, I don't walk him. I don't walk him. Auntie Joanne walks him outside of the yard. There's plenty of yard for him to go and pick up equipment, to pick up, you know what. She takes the pickup bag and she goes for a walk with her nephew. So, you guys, I'm looking under here because I don't think I'm going to need it. But look at these nice, light jeans. Oh, you know what? Guess what I might do? You know, the ones that seemed a little bit short? I can use them for something else, or I can sew a piece onto it to make them longer. Actually, this one is longer. Why are you over there? Me no sabe que me sabe. Oh, not see, now I would love this. And these are already cut. You see this? That was a big leg jean right there. A thick leg jean. Auntie Ellen size thickum jeans. But I don't have any jeans in here. Why? Because I didn't have any jeans. You know what? You guys, almost all I ever wear lately are are leggings. I've turned into a legging nana. Ooh, I like this one. Can you see me picking up these? I like the light and dark contrast. In fact, it was so light I had to turn it over and make sure I was putting right sides together. Mother, you're gonna love this quilt. Auntie Joanne's teasing you, Mr. Hershey, asking you if you want to go for a walk. He doesn't get walked in the afternoon by Nana, by me. I don't do stairs. I don't see trip curves. You know, like in the evening you go out and it's twilight. I remember when I was at my mom's house and they redid the curbs on the street, and then I came in and it was getting dark, and I came in over the driveway. Well, our driveway was always flat, because that's how my mom and dad had it. Well, when they redid the street, they changed the edge of the driveway, and the tip of my foot caught it. I went down by the Titanic, like the Titanic, and it was rough concrete. I skinned the palms of my hands up, my knees. It was ugly. It was ugly, y'all. It was not pretty at all. So I don't go out at night. When you have vision in one eye, your depth perception is off. So you can't tell high from low, low from high. So here's another one with black and dark. Mother, you see all these different color jeans? This was a lot of jeans, you guys. A lot, a lot, a lot. I don't even know how many pairs. Yes, more than 20. Yes, more than 20 pairs of jeans. I had jeans sent to me from one of my sister friends from Utah as well. And she had pre-cut them, washed them, and put them together. I don't know why that one is. I'll have to fix that. They didn't line up evenly. So is this a shorty or not? Well, let me see. So this side is fine. These are stretched jeans, and of course the legs go down. I can stretch it when it comes to this side. So I will sew it on the big side, the one that fits right now. Maria Gramson, you're going to make a jean quilt to getting everything together now. Donzel said he used to take the dogs out at night, but not in Timor. I don't go out too early in the morning either. And you know what? Life happens. And in the morning, just because at my age, almost 76 years old, you could just trip over life out there and trip and fall. So I have one of those things that go around my neck. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. I have one. I've already tested it for the month, or I would do it in front of you. If I push the dial, they'll say, "Hello, Ellen. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Are you okay? Are you in a safe place? Can you give us your address where you live?" And sometimes I say yes. Sometimes I say no. I'm out in public. I don't wish to give my address. And but going back to mornings, the staff starts here starting 8 o'clock. No, 7 o'clock. I used to go out 6 o'clock in the morning walking, so I don't do that anymore. I go out at 7 o'clock, so at least somebody sees me go out. I live near a park, and I walk into the park, so they could just say, "Well, we saw her a couple hours ago, headed that way up the mountain." I see another one of those light ones that I love, love, love. So I'm digging it out, digging it out. So, does any of you have any questions? Are any of you all going to make a denim quilt? This took a lot. This took a lot to make this happen, Mother. I actually think I sewed this on the reverse side, but it's okay. It's hard to tell the right side from the wrong side. But this side is a little bit more worn, so that was probably the right side. But it's fine, Mother. It's going to be fine, Mama. And when I see my mother, like I'll ask her things, she'll say, "Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember." Kind of suck her teeth. But guess what? When I do stuff here, she remembers what I did. And sometimes she sees me trying to remember things that she taught us, how she taught us how to do it. Like when I was starting my crochet, Kelly, and my mother saw me on a live, and she didn't say anything. When I got to her house, she told me to give her a needle and thread, a crochet hook and thread, and then she went and showed me the way that I have been doing it my life long, but my 75-year-old brain forgot how I used to do it, and I tied a knot to start it. And she was showing me that is not how we did it. We used to do a slip knot. And she is correct. So she woke up my brain on that issue. It's funny as you get older, you guys, the things that you remember and the things that you don't. It's like things you don't care about, you don't remember. But a lot of times you guys ask me questions or say something in the live, and it reminds me of something I had thought about in 50,000 years. So I'm digging through here. When you see my hand go up and down, fishing, fishing, fishing for different fabrics. So I like this little worn out CPs with this. That I don't even know what this was. Probably a defect in the denim. So what I'm going to do with this, you see how these two, the grain, are going the same way, up and down. I'm not going to sew it that way. This is where the artistry comes in putting fabrics together. I'm going to do it so that it goes the other way. I'm going to do it going the other way. Oh, this is going to be such a cool quote. Do I Auntie Ellen Pankey own a jean quilt? Nope, I don't. I never will. I don't even own a bed quilt for myself. All these years I've been quilting. I don't own a bed quilt. I have quilts. Yes, I have many quilts, but they're in containers that I use for exhibits and quilt shows, and I don't sleep under them. I just save them for exhibit. And I have some of those. You guys, a couple of weeks ago, I took a bunch of them out. I think when Greenland Katie was here, I took some out. Okay, so now, here's a dark one. We're going to pair it with a light one. Maria Graham. I would love to see you working on yours. And you don't have to make your blocks the same way that I made my block. You can make all your blocks like all 6.5 inches, 8.5 inches. But I'm doing these blocks the way that I did a quilt that's called a fat quarter quilt. And I remembered the pattern and I'm sewing it that way. So again, here is a dark, dark blue. I'm putting it with a lighter blue, but I'm putting the grains going a different way to make it interesting. To make it interesting. So this one, there seems to be like a slight difference. So again, I'm going to put a pin in it. So if I have to stretch it, they're both stretchy fabrics. Could I have used a stabilizer? Yes. But these jeans are heavy enough without, oh my gosh, without adding more weight. And mind you, an elder is going over it. Oh no, mother, I didn't call you an elder. I mean a younger is going over it. I don't know about y'all, but my bones can't take heavy things. Like some of the comforters I have on my bed. I've had like a couple knee replacements or hip replacements. Sometimes those covers get to go in the wrong way and they make me ache the weight of them. And I have to kick the covers off and use the sheets. Okay, so let's look at these two colors. Doesn't matter which way the grain is going because one is much lighter than the other one. You can clearly see. Clearly see. You know what? It's getting difficult to find jeans. Unbiased, she's buying them all up where she lives. I know nobody in her state can get any jeans. Maria Graham started that same mess down South Carolina. I can't find any jeans. They don't have any $2 jeans in the stores like in Connecticut. They don't have anything. They're charging you ridiculous prices like that stuff is new. Auntie Joanne and I went in a store in Arizona to get jeans. They were $17 a pair, $27 a pair. But what we did look at and find, a lot of seniors go to Arizona and retire. Baby, as Mona would say, those elders have some nice cars out there. Oh my gosh. And they're all shiny. They're all kept in a garage. Nice. But they have, grandma came there and made quilts by hand. And grandma didn't make it, right? And they go there, clean out the house and sell it. Take that stuff to the Goodwill. We bought some of the nicest handmade quilts for $4 and different pieces of linens. I'm biased that you buy them all. I ain't coming to Texas, no Texas Hold'em, because I know It's dead and stankin' about me getting anything that's been televised. I can just hang it up. Although my baby brother just remarried and maybe move into Texas in the Houston area, yo, if I get there, I trust you. I trust and believe I will be going there. I'll have to mail them home because my suitcase will be too heavy to put on a plane. Although when I travel, some depending on what ticket I have, I can get two free um, suitcases that you board. But I don't do that because I have a carry on. Then I have Mr. Hershey in his kennel, and that's all I can handle. So I have the sky cat pushing me in the wheelchair, right? I've got Mr. Hershey on my lap and my backpack on the back of my chair. That's enough. But for some jeans, a suitcase full of jeans, I would do that. I would definitely go for that. So you see me like flipping through them a little bit. I'm flipping through so that I can get a tone, contrast, and color. And when I sew them onto the color, I'm also flipping it so that the grain goes in a different direction. And when the light hits it on my mother's bed, it's going to look like even more colors than the jeans are. So let's hit the floor and go. So vision preparedness, I think you guys, is going on at 8 o'clock. Maybe Odom. Maybe Odom. I'm trying to think of the shows. I try to stay awake from Miss Shirley. Do you guys know that I get up 3 o'clock every morning? You're like, Auntie Ella, why do you get up that early? Because my legs wake me up. My legs hurt, you guys. I have fibromyalgia and they hurt. And I say, okay, I'll get up and drink a lot of water. Because they say water helps cramping, like when you play sports and stuff. And I'll get up and drink some water. Then I'll say, well, I don't feel like sitting down right now. Maybe I'll sit at the machine. And you see this piece? Look at the back. This was a natural seam in the pair of jeans. No, maybe I sewed these together because it looks like it's sewed down on the side. So I am going to put this with a darker pair. And these have a bunch of seams abutting against each other. How many of you in the chat like denim quilts, upcycled jeans? Put a 1 in the chat if you can, if you're able to see who likes jeans. Because we can do this again. I have some more blocks. I actually have some smaller blocks that I cut for making hobo bags. I never got my hobo bag, you guys. I never made the hobo bag for myself. But I want to. But just like I think that I'm getting caught up with UFOs and getting to those 4 big, big cases of finished jean top, something else comes up and someone wants to commission a quilt, like the memory quilt for this young lady's husband that passed. When you see me flip this back, it's because you see how the fabrics are straight and iron. I'm doing this so that I'm not wrinkling them unnecessarily. Oh, look at these. I love, love, love these. Look how these are worn. Oh, I love that. That should be in a tote. I'm going to put this with this. This one really looks, but this is one of those commercially distressed, commercially distressed, where they put them in and make them. You can't even iron these out. Back in the bushes, watching the large screen TV. That's me, Nikki. And once I take my glasses off, that's it. And when I do try to type without my glasses, it looks like I'm typing hieroglyphics, like I'm writing some fun new language. I'll be in the bushes with you, Nikki, soon as I finish up in here, up in here. Sometimes, like tonight, I forget to even eat my dinner, or if I eat early, because I have a lot of acid stomach, so I don't eat late. I try to eat dinner no later than 3 p.m. so that I have plenty of time for to digest before I lay down. So I'm looking, I only have like 3 or 4 or 5 more of these, but I only have these. Either I need to cut some more, or I knock some on the floor, or see, all of the above. But when I finish these, I will end these for tonight and go take a break myself and give you guys a break. And don't forget, Dolores. Okay. Dolores will highlight the questions in just 1 minute. Okay, Dolores. I will take questions now. I'll have to stop sewing and take the questions. I asked, but for those of you who may have asked a question earlier, I asked Dolores to hold the question, because if she highlights them and takes them off before I read them, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Okay, are there any questions, you guys? Let me see if I see a question. Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm looking for questions. Okay. Did you say what your backing fabric will be for this quilt? Yes. It is to answer unbiased question, did I say what the backing is for this quilt? It is a Robert Kaufman fabric. And do you remember, unbiased, when I told you about that fabric that was on sale from $23 down to like $8.79? Well, here's 4 yards of it. And it's thick. It's really thick. It's a Robert Kaufman Kona fabric. This is 108 inches wide. I can't hold it up. It's really heavy. It's 108 inches wide. It's going to be this bright blue. And I'm going to have the long arm quilting done in it in a purple, like the purple hearts that you put, unbiased, like the purple hearts that you put on my custom labels that you made. So I have about, hold on, you guys, I have about 4 or 5 more of these, and then I will see if you have any more questions. That blue is beautiful. Now, next to purple, my favorite color is blue. My favorite color is blue. So I will finish sewing this, and I will remember to put that plant, that squash plant, back in the hydroponics. That's why that bright light is in back of me. It's one of my hydroponic units. I only have one plugged in right now because it's summertime and I don't need to grow inside. Because, shady as it may be, Abaya says she remembers when I when I got that fabric. I didn't get it the first time it went on sale. I had to catch that second one. And they must have been trying to get rid of this particular color. It is a crazy cobalt blue, and I wanted it. And I knew when I saw it that I wanted it for this quilt. So mother, when you get under the cover, you'll be this bright blue, or when you turn it back. So we're pairing this dark one with this one. And then Saturday when I go live at 6 p.m. Eastern, all of these will be sewn, and I will iron them. When I iron these two pieces together, I will iron it with the seam going towards the smaller piece of fabric. Why? Because in real life, the heavier fabric will also always push the lighter fabric over. Well, I know that I just knocked one over there, so this will probably be my last one, and then I'll talk to you guys for a few minutes. And when I get off the live, I will count them to see if I have 42, but a 10.5-inch block is a popular block that I cut out, so I may have cut out some extra ones. I notice when I turn my voice a little bit, it goes over. Maria Graham's getting ready for supper. I'm ready for supper too. I've had some peppers and onions cut up for 2 days to go make some peppered steak, and I didn't do it. I think I'm hungry today to do it, and I've got some collards cooked. So you guys, I have all the short pieces sewn, and I have, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10.5-inch pieces that I don't have anything to go with. I'm pretty sure I knocked a couple over, and I have one down here that was a little bit short that I'll probably recut out of that nice blue fabric out of this, because this came in late and I loved it and I saved it, and I said if anything is short I will put it in there, or I will save it for when I make a tote bag for me. You have to give your eyes a break from the reading glasses. Me too. I can't, I don't know how some people can be on social media all day with the bright light on, those ring lights. They take me out. They take me out. So, does anybody else have any questions? Okay, because I did ask Dolores to hold all questions until I look up, because for those of you who don't know, I'm totally blind on my left, in my left eye. So when I'm at the sewing machine, when I'm at the sewing machine, or you see me turn sideways or sitting unladylike, it's because when I'm at the sewing machine, anything past here I can't see. And my computer's over here, so I won't see it, even if Dolores highlights it, unless I happen to see something. Unbiased. They're not 10-inch blocks. That would be cheating. You could get pre-cuts for a 10-inch one, unless you change it. You're really good at math. Unless you change the other block. I'll tell you what you could do. Now, these are 10.5-inch blocks. 10 and 1. So I make 10.5-inch blocks. And for me, for this one, I made 42. And then I made 6.5 by 10.5. Now, no more sewing fingers, Mike. So if you want, no, but if you're using jeans, you can just use a 10-inch block. But if you have 10 inch, you cut it 10 inches by, you would have to cut up a block, another 10-inch block to get the 6.5-inch block. Then you'd be stuck with 4.5-inch pieces left over, unless you put them around for some type of a border, which you could do. Make your own design. You can make your own design. You don't have to do it exactly like this. But if you're cutting, and in a lot of, I know that a lot of pre-cuts are 10. I never cut mine 10 inches. I always cut 10.5 because I make this type of quilt a lot, and it's called it was a fat quarter quilt called Turning 20. So I know I could always pair it with this or with my bags or other things. So do any of you have any more questions? Okay, so Dolores isn't always in the back. She goes in and out, and she's not lit up. So in American Sign Language, this is an, and you hold your hand towards the person you're talking to. This is an I. This is an L. This is a U. If you like the content, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Think about subscribing and turning on the bell. Ego amote. I love you guys. And hold on. And I will use my finger and the mouse because